Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by the following. Indiana University's Center for Applied Cybersecurity Research, presenting Security Matters with tips for improving online security in 3 minutes or less. And by WTIU members. Thank you.
Coming up on Indiana Newsdesk, the state's schools chief is the latest candidate to enter the governor's race.
6 million Hoosiers need to know that their state cares about their communities and their future.
How will Glenda Ritz balance her role as state superintendent while also campaigning for governor? A small Indiana town is gearing up for its annual Pride Festival. Organizers say controversy over the Religious Freedom Restoration Act reiterates the need for LGBT visibility in all parts of the state.
I hope that we can serve as examples to other rural communities.
And statistics show recidivism rates drop when prisoners get more contact with their families.
Phone calls are a little bit ridiculous. They're $7.20 a phone call for 30 minutes.
The state is making millions off inmates' calls, and families are feeling the burden. Plus, the latest news headlines from across the state right now on Indiana Newsdesk. Welcome to Indiana Newsdesk. I'm Joe Wren. State Superintendent Glenda Ritz is running for governor. Appearing at an Indianapolis high school Thursday, Ritz became the third person to enter the Democratic primary, calling herself the best candidate to beat incumbent Governor Mike Pence.
I am asking you to help me become your 51st governor so that we can have leadership that listens to all sides and that respects the diversity of our great state.
The educator says she made the decision to challenge Pence after this past legislative session, referencing efforts to strip power from the Department of Education and shift it to the GOP-controlled State Board of Education. She also cited what she calls the disaster created by Republican leadership over the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. Ritz will now face off in the primary against former House Speaker John Gregg and longtime State Senator Karen Tallien. And the state superintendent says despite spending most of her career in the education arena, she has the experience necessary to govern the whole state.
You're going to see that I actually have quite a bit of knowledge and experience in a variety of areas. Education is the catalyst to move the economy forward. We got to have that connection, that close connection, to make sure that that happens.
Ritz's announcement has excited many of those who supported her 2012 run for the state schools chief position, but others say the former librarian and first-term executive official is stepping outside her wheelhouse. Here to discuss the policies and politics of the lifelong educator is education blogger Steve Hennefield. Welcome, Steve, to the show. You know, we've heard the superintendent just say in that piece that she thinks she'll be able to reach outside of the education area. How does she make herself appeal to those voters outside of education?
Well, I think that's a big question. I think she has a number of months to do that between now and the Democratic primary to demonstrate that she could be more than just an education policy person as governor while not losing any of the enthusiasm and support of her base, which are supporters who are mostly involved with education.
But that's where she was mostly yesterday, or I should say Thursday, at schools and libraries to announce her campaign. Do you think she'll start to break free from that?
I think it's hard to say exactly how she'll pursue the campaign. I think she'll probably try to continue to build that enthusiasm to kind of energize those people who supported her for state superintendent and have continued to support her in her sort of battles with Governor Pence. So that's going to be, I think she's going to be involved in working with education, but she's going to have to show that she's knowledgeable about some other issues as well.
Well, and before we even get to Governor Pence, she's going to be running against some political heavy hitters. We mentioned in the story too John Gregg and Karen Tallien. How can Ritz set herself apart in the primary with those?
Well, I think education is probably where she starts. She's the person who is most engaged in education of those candidates. Beyond that, it will be kind of interesting to see. But I think that that we'll hear a lot about education. Her supporters are going to be more focused on that than on other things. I think also people will sort of position themselves to a certain extent on the political spectrum. John Gregg has a long time record as a moderate Democrat, even a conservative Democrat on some issues, and so she may be positioning herself to the left of him on certain issues as well.
But now she goes back to being superintendent. How does she balance these two things?
I think, you know, it's important to remember that if she weren't running for governor, she'd probably be running for re-election as state superintendent, so, which is also a statewide elected office. So there's sort of no way to avoid the politics of it. On the other hand, it's probably important to note that the 8 of the other members of the State Board of Education are appointed by Governor Pence, who would conceivably be her opponent in 2016. And so they are probably aware of that, and there could be some political difficulties at those board meetings.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.
The outrage surrounding the state's Religious Freedom Restoration Act has quieted since it was amended earlier this year. But for many LGBT Hoosiers and their allies, the debate is ongoing. As Alexander McCall reports, one small Indiana town hopes its annual Pride Festival will bring the importance of LGBT civil rights to lawmakers and residents' attention.
It's crunch time for the organizers of the Spencer Pride Festival.
He's our only volunteer who's not in high school that's graduating. So
Secretary Judy Epp is working through the final details before an expected 1,300 people, along with dozens of vendors, fill Spencer's Courthouse Square for the 9th annual festival. The gathering began in a nearby park in 2007. About 50 people came that year. Now, Epp says the one-day gathering has grown into the largest Pride celebration in a small town in Indiana.
We haven't heard of any rural Pride Festival that is as big as ours in as small a town as ours.
We stand here today to protect our freedom to live our faith without compromise.
Passage of the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, also known as RFRA, earlier this year made Indiana the target of a national firestorm, and it ignited a statewide discussion about protections for LGBT people. Epp says she thinks that controversy will draw members of the LGBT community and their allies to this year's festival.
I think our supporters will be out in huge numbers. Because our festival is a great place to be, but even if they weren't going to come, I think they would come just to show that we can't let things like RFRA stand.
That showing is something Freedom Indiana campaign manager Katie Blair says can make a real difference. She says that type of gathering, particularly in smaller towns, sends a message to state lawmakers.
I think it's really very important because it shows legislators that LGBT people don't exist, only in metropolitan areas, only in the donut counties around Indianapolis. They exist all across, Indiana, and they're their constituents and their neighbors, and this really showcases that.
On top of its numerous vendors, the festival has the support of the Owen County Chamber of Commerce, a partnership it only developed in recent years. Chamber of Commerce Executive Director Gwen Tucker says the festival's unique and family-friendly atmosphere can help combat the stereotype that small towns are unwelcoming or unaccepting of LGBT people.
It allows us to show the world, show the state, show the community that we are very open and welcoming here in Owen County, and we embrace diversity.
In addition to the backing of the Chamber of Commerce, festival organizers received a letter of support from House and Senate minority leaders asking for their help in adding protections for LGBT Hoosiers to the state constitution. That battle will likely heat up during next year's legislative session as some Democrats seek RFRA's repeal. Back in the tiny town of Spencer, Epp says the festival sends more immediate messages to the people who live there.
The first year we were on the courthouse lawn was back in 2008. A young boy rode his bicycle to our festival and told one of the organizers, "I can't be here, but I'm so glad that you are." And he rode off. And now he comes to the festival every year. So it's the impact we make on people we don't even know.
And she says the deliberate choices of LGBT community members to make themselves visible does more than send a signal to those in the State House. She says it can change the perceptions of others.
Maybe there's a parent out there in the rural community that doesn't want to show their face because they don't want their neighbors to know that they have a gay child. But they see us doing what we're doing, and it makes it more acceptable to that person's neighbors that they have a gay child. Set ourselves up.
Spencer Pride is a one-day festival that begins Saturday morning. And now for headlines, we go over to Lindsay Wright, who has the latest on this week's top stories.
Thank you, Joe. 3 more cases of HIV have been identified in Scott County, bringing the total number of cases to 166. But the rate of new cases has slowed, thanks in part to a needle exchange program. And now other counties are considering following suit. Gretchen Frazee reports.
Boxes of dirty needles found throughout the city of Connorsville sit in the Fayette County Health Department.
We have reports of syringes in our dugouts at our Babe Ruth ball field. I've seen needles behind the gas stations, and officers have reported getting stuck by needles when they do frisking people. I would love to see that cut down.
Connorsville has been fighting a high rate of heroin use for decades. The town has relied on industrial jobs, but companies have moved out in recent years. Now, dozens of large industrial facilities sit vacant, dotted with for sale signs and graffiti.
There's nothing for the younger generation to do here other than to go to a movie, maybe go out to eat, but I mean, we don't have a lot of activities here.
Drug users in Connorsville have been sharing needles, and that's caused a spike in the hepatitis C rate, which spreads the same way as HIV. So health officials are meeting to consider whether the county should implement a needle exchange program under newly passed legislation. Fayette Regional Health System CEO Randy White says he was skeptical of a needle exchange until recently.
What I see it as now is a chance for us to get ahead of the issue, to try to slow it down.
But there are still a lot of questions that have to be answered before an exchange could be implemented in Fayette County, including who will pay for it. Fayette County health officials will also have to get buy-in from the local community and receive state approval before an exchange can go into effect.
Vigo County, the county surrounding Terre Haute, is also considering a needle exchange. Former Democratic Congressman Baron Hill is launching his bid for the U.S. Senate. He's the first Democrat to enter the race for the seat Senator Dan Coates is vacating. In a statement, Hill says he made the decision to run because working people in Indiana need someone to fight for them. Hill, who grew up in Seymour, Indiana, served in Congress from 1999 to 2005 and again from 2007 to 2011. Hillary Clinton is coming to Indianapolis for a fundraising event later this month. The Democratic presidential candidate is making at least 26 stops to meet with donors across the country. The event in Indiana will be held on June 22nd and is expected to be private. Well, the parents of Indiana University student Lauren Spear continue to search for answers 4 years after their daughter's disappearance. Wednesday marked the anniversary of the day Spear went missing after a night out partying with friends. Her parents filed a civil lawsuit in an effort to get answers from those who were with her the night she disappeared. A judge dismissed the lawsuit, but the family has appealed the ruling. Indiana University is following through on a promise to freeze tuition for some students. The IU Board of Trustees has given final approval to freezing tuition for undergraduate in-state students attending the Bloomington campus for the next 2 years. Non-residents, though, will see a tuition increase. It's a 1.5% hike, which is less than the statewide tuition increase recommended by the Indiana Commission for Higher Education. While on paper, voter turnout numbers for last month's primary election significantly increased, but the uptick is likely a product of recent voter roll cleanup efforts. Recent voter roll purges spearheaded by the Secretary of State's office have cleared hundreds of thousands of names from voter registration lists. The reported turnout last month was more than 12% across 72 of Indiana's 92 counties that had primary elections. And the Potawatomi Zoo in South Bend has welcomed a trio of very rare leopard cubs. The cubs are around 11 weeks old, and zoo officials say they have been keeping very close to their mother. There are only about 70 Amur leopards left in the wild, making them the world's rarest exotic cat. And Joe, the cubs will be named through a voting contest on their website, so keep an eye out for that.
That little one was so feisty. They're so cute, aren't they?
They're adorable.
Thank you very much, Lindsay. Coming up next on Indiana Newsdesk. Staying in touch with family members lowers the chances that a prisoner will reoffend. But communication comes at a premium price. Ahead, the burden this puts on families. And Greencastle is getting a new music center that aims to be a community hangout. These stories right here on Indiana Newsdesk.
The fact that PBS is the most trusted media outlet in the country means a great deal to me. We live now in the most multicultural, multiracial, multi-ethnic America ever. There are a lot of voices in this country that need to be heard. I think that my job is to help Americans re-examine the assumptions that they hold, to expand their inventory of ideas, and hopefully to introduce Americans to each other. And we take that challenge seriously every day.
$10,000.
15? 15, you think?
20, 21,000?
600.
20. 18.5.
24.
It's at least 40.
Look at it.
4,500,000.
650.
20.
650.
This textile would be worth about $500,000.
$500,000?
No way.
I knew it. It's just a blanket.
Laying on the back of a chair. Well, sir, you have a national treasure.
Wow.
A national treasure. Congratulations.
I can't believe this.
Welcome back to Indiana Newsdesk. The decision to commit a crime often changes a person's life forever. It can mean years of jail time or probation and long-lasting pain for the victims. But the decision can also have a profound impact on the perpetrator's family. They're left to decide whether to support their incarcerated loved ones financially and emotionally. And some say doing so makes them victims too. In part one of our series, The Hidden Price of Prison, Barbara Harrington introduces you to a single mom from Bloomington who goes to great lengths to help the man she loves.
Here. All right, don't forget your sister.
Mornings at the Graves household revolve around two things: flapjacks,
hey guys, eat,
and phone calls. That's the voice of Steven Snyder on the phone. He's calling from Miami Correctional Facility in Bunker Hill. He's been incarcerated for the past 5 years, serving time for armed robbery.
I guess you can't really determine who you fall in love with. It just kind of happens. And his circumstance really didn't bother me because it was what he had done before we had met and got together. What he does now is what concerns me.
Graves helps support Snyder while he's in prison. On top of raising 6 kids on her own, she sends him money to help pay for food and clothing he can purchase through commissary.
Did you order commissary? Did you order one of those things of bacon?
She also spends money on phone calls and video visits, and it all adds up quickly.
Phone calls are a little bit ridiculous. They're $7.20 a phone call for 30 minutes.
That comes out to 24 cents a minute. Turns out there are few regulations for prison communications providers. Last year, FCC rules went into effect that capped the cost of interstate calls from prisons after the commission found that unrestricted long-distance rates often resulted in unreasonably high phone bills for inmates' families. Now, the calls can't exceed 25 cents per minute for collect calls and 21 cents per minute for prepaid calls. But the regulations only apply to out-of-state interactions. A company called Global Tellink provides inmate payphone services in Indiana. As part of its contract, GTL must pay the state an 18% commission on all revenue generated from inmate calls. Last year, the state made more than $3.5 million off the deal. A portion of that money goes to the Office of Technology and Facility Recreation Funds. The remaining revenue is deposited into the Department of Corrections Technology Fund. The money helps improve prisons and programs, but the Prison Policy Initiative says the kickbacks create a conflict of interest.
Instead of having the best interest of the consumers in mind and driving the prices down like they do in a normal marketplace, in the prison and jail context, it's the person who charges the most that gets the contract. And then, everybody who uses the service actually has to pay, and their family members pay.
The state also makes money off its deal with JPay, a company that provides several technology services to inmates and their families. For $9.95, families can visit with inmates virtually for half an hour. They can also purchase stamps that allow them to communicate via email and send money orders through the service. They also have to turn a portion of their revenue over to the Department of Corrections. Last year, that amounted to more than $190,000. Indiana Department of Corrections Deputy Commissioner James Basinger says the technology is making it easier for inmates to communicate with family and friends. And he says staying connected to the outside world can impact an offender's success once they're released.
I think the statistics show that the more contact you have with the family, the less likely you are to come back to prison.
But for many inmates, the cost of staying in touch falls to their family and friends.
It's a huge burden to the families. And, when you look at the big picture, it burdens the families, lowering their ability to have actual visits, to have frequent communications, which have all shown to be very important to reduce recidivism, to make sure that, once somebody completes their prison term, they can integrate back into their family with less stress involved for everybody.
Inmates do have opportunities to work and earn money while they're incarcerated, but the pay isn't much.
Our basic salary for offenders at the high end for just regular facility jobs is about 25 cents a day, 25 cents an hour. For that hourly rate, and that covers, clerks, sanitation details, mowing crews.
Graves says she's lucky. She doesn't have as much of a financial hardship as many other families do. She runs her own business, a nursing home beauty shop, to help support her kids. And Snyder worked his way through several Department of Labor apprenticeships and now has a minimum wage job.
He makes $7.25 an hour. And he works on bracket, which means it's every other day. He makes more in 2 weeks than most of them make in 3 months.
15% of Snyder's paycheck is put into a re-entry fund, which will be released once he leaves prison. Another portion of the money goes toward victim restitution. Whatever's left over, he uses to purchase items from commissary. But he still has to rely on his parents and Graves for help.
My girl, she's taking care of multiple kids, and I feel like every dollar is something away from them, and that's something they work hard for, and I know that they give it to me because they love me and they want me to be okay too, but it makes me feel so guilty.
Snyder says it gives him extra motivation to keep working hard and stay out of trouble.
What you doing, baby? What are you doing?
Visits like this one remind him of what's waiting for him on the outside.
I feel like I've ridded everyone from my old ways out of my life and my old circles. I no longer speak to any of them. I'm ready. I want another chance, just ready for another chance at life.
But that second chance won't come cheap. The financial struggles for Graves and Snyder will likely continue long after his release. They're hoping to get him out on house arrest in the next few months, but it's so expensive, they'll likely move.
The rent is so high here, you can't expect a family to be able to pay rent, plus utilities, plus be able to pay for house arrest, plus whatever fees, the courts put on. So we'll probably move to somewhere in Monroe County, but hopefully cheaper than the city of Bloomington.
That doesn't sound too bad to Snyder after spending 5 years locked up. He dreams of getting out and being the person he was raised to be.
I look at my dad, and that's what I want to be like. I just want to be happy, have someone next to me that I love and trust, and watch the kids grow up and go to their school things and have nice things, work hard.
In part 2 of our series, The Hidden Victims, we'll introduce you to people who are helping prisoners' families stay connected with their loved ones. And we'll take a deeper look at how those relationships impact inmate success once they're released from prison. Well, how about some opera and wine, high school jazz ensembles, or classical music played from the back of a hay wagon? These are just a few of the things DePaul University is doing to shake up how people view classical music. It's part of a partnership between the university and the city at Greencastle's newest music venue. Workers are busy installing utilities, painting, and building walls. DePaul Music Dean Mark McCoy says the location on Greencastle's Town Square gives the school an opportunity to showcase the future of classical music while opening their doors to the community.
The history of classical music is that people think it's some kind of secret code. You have to get dressed up in black and white, and you have to come in to hear music in languages you don't understand, music that was composed by dead white Germans, and you stand up and try to guess when to applaud. And that's changing.
He calls it Communiversity, and it's something Greencastle Mayor Sue Murray says the city's been working on with DePaul for years.
To have them investing in the downtown, bringing more people into the downtown, exposing more of our community to the opportunities that are not only for our young people, but for all of us to enjoy and learn about music and to learn music. It's incredible.
The space can accommodate both intimate and exploratory concerts. There are classrooms and practice rooms where accompanying music adjusts with the student's playing tempo.
So see, this is a microphone. So all of these are mics.
The grand opening Monday features renowned cellist Yo-Yo Ma. Can't wait to see that done. That's the end of this program, but our work continues online as we cover the news throughout the week at WTIUnews.org. Have a great weekend.
Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by the following. Indiana University's Center for Applied Cybersecurity Research, presenting Security Matters with tips for improving online security in 3 minutes or less. And by WTIU members. Thank you.